Hi everyone, welcome back. So for today's project we will be using this foam dice. I got this from Dollar Tree. I have already applied one coat of chalk paint on all the five sides. They usually come in a pack of two. I have used this folk art home decor chalk paint that I had it from Michael's, and I'm using this foam brush. So this chalk paint you can also get it from Walmart or any other craft store, and you can even use acrylic paint if you have one on hand. So it usually takes 15 to 20 minutes or maximum up to 30 minutes, I'll say, for the chalk paint to dry. That's the advantage when you are using a chalk paint. It dries very quickly as compared to the acrylic paint. Acrylic paint might take up to a day to dry, and then only it's advisable you go ahead and put your second coat. And sometimes you might need to put more coats of paint for acrylic paint as compared to the chalk paint. Similarly, I am going to apply the second coat to my other foam dice, and then I let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes or up to half an hour, and then I'll apply my third and final coat. For this project I found like 3 coats of chalk paint was good enough to give a beautiful coverage to the foam dice. If you are using acrylic paint, you will need to wait at least 12 to 14 hours to dry and apply a second coat. And this is how it looked after the second coat. I let it sit for half an hour and I applied the final coat, and this is the outcome. I'm using the stencil set. Again, I got this from Dollar Tree. They are usually found in the craft aisle, and we are going to use the alphabets F, A, and L. You can just play around with it. You can use any words that you want to go on the foam dice. You can use autumn or gather. You just need that many of foam dice to spell it out. So before I used this stencil and I did not adhere it to the foam dice, and I found that the paint bleed through the stencil as it was not sticking. So I went ahead and used Elmer's spray adhesive that I had on hand. Again, I got that from Michael's, and I securely adhered to the center of the foam dice. I'm using this sponge daubers which I got from Dollar Tree. The chalk paint is Art Minds, and I that had on hand, and I got that from Michael's. Just be careful when you are using this sponge daubers and the paint. You don't require too much of the paint. You will need very little of the paint, and just dab it gently over the stencil. We don't want it to bleed through the stencil again. And if you are using acrylic paint, I'll say you wait till the paint dries before you remove the stencil. But if it's a chalk paint, you can see I was able to remove it right after applying the paint, and I got the crisper lines. I got some stain on this side because the stencil was used previously, so I'll advise always clean your stencil before you use it, and there should not be any residual paint. So similarly, I was able to put the L on my 2 foam dice, and this is how they looked after the paint was applied. I allowed it to sit for a day before I went ahead and put it on my used for my fall decor. If you want, you can use a fine brush and attach the ends of the A if you don't like the look or the font of the A. And this is how it looks once it was all dried and ready to go on my hutch or the buffet table that I have in my living room. I hope you all enjoyed this DIY. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of the similar videos, and please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this project.